she's like, pretty much, I don't have to have the liquid money to make this come about. Yeah. And then you send me a couple ways we can get it done.
Right.
But how do you look at big projects where a person doesn't have the money, but they have a vision and an idea? What's your perspective on that?
So I've learned, just through receipts, I'm really good at making people money. And people love to give me money because I'm good at making them money, right? Whenever you didn't know me and you had to send me your money for the first time, you was like shaking in your Timbs. Like, you know what I'm saying? You was like, you had every question as you should, right? Like there was nothing wrong with your due diligence in questioning me. But it got to a point where I was like, I don't want to take anything from you that's going to make you uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And so because I know what I'm capable of, I never operate outside of that. So I'm not going to just take your money and, go buy, a tech company. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not going to put no money there. But if I tell you this is a real estate asset that I can show you how we can make money from it, then I feel confident that I can stand behind that. The other thing is this. I hear people talk about OPM all the time, which is, yes, that is the vehicle you use. But I never use OPM without using my own money either. That means I put in some skin in the game. So if anybody get a haircut, we're equally taking a haircut and we can all hold the same sign. I got burned. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So I think because I understand the relationship I have with investors, I'm able to see something a lot different than how you would be able to see it on your own. So for you like, I got to figure this out on my own. Honestly, that's a poverty thinking that we were trained as children to do, right? Because in school, I think Robert Kiyosaki said it best, however you said his last name, right? He said in school, you taught it's cheating. And as an adult, you taught it's collaboration. Mm-hmm. And so because we're taught that it's cheating and we have to figure it out on our own, we're constantly trying to figure things out on our own. But if we learn how to collaborate, we can build each other up a lot faster than we could on our own. So when I started with one property, I started exactly where I was. And then I started building my portfolio and people started seeing that. And then I got a consistent group of investors who just rock with me and believe in me and trust me. So if I say, hey, I'm going to invest here, their money is going to follow. So now I'm able to acquire a whole lot more than what I would on my own. Yeah. So people have been taught that, growing up, and this is something that was literally learned unintentionally. Mm-hmm. We just got to figure out how to break that. For sure. Because it holds a lot of us back. And I'm not saying every great idea person invest in them or do something like that. But I'm saying it will hold you back if you're trying to, take on this elephant by yourself without cutting it up. I enjoy sharing, and I genuinely enjoy watching people make money through real estate and become extremely excited. Like you seeing your rental property in person for the first time. Like I always go back and watch that when I'm having like a crappy day, because I'm like, that joy is contagious because this is why I'm doing it. Yeah. So that's how I look at it.
I think that was amazing, because we literally went past my property that I own and I didn't know it because I never saw it before. You know what I mean? So she drives me by because I'm in Louisiana, and she's like, yo, she points at that property. I'm like, ooh, can we buy that? Yeah. I'm like, is that an investment?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
And she just looked at me like, what? Then I see the streets. I'm like, oh, wow, I've owned that for years now. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't know, right? Because the property management company manages it, and I thought that was like super cool. But so I want to get into the deal. Before we get into the deal, you are building. You're gonna be building your office in Lafayette.
Yes.
Tell me how you're structuring that deal.
So I'm building. So first of all, it's a 5-story building that I'm looking to take over. They're asking 1.8. I'm trying to get it for 1.5, and I'm trying to do $500,000 in renovations. Okay. So in that building, we already have existing tenants. We have 47% of the building is occupied already. So I'm not going to disturb that occupancy. That's income that I'm walking into that people are leasing their office spaces from me. right? And then from there, I'm going to build the TLS headquarters going up. Well, what does that look like for investors, right? Well, number one, you have ownership in the asset. Then we have income that's being charged from the tenants, which TLS will be a tenant in that building as well, paying rent. And so we will be generating rental income every single month from every single person who got an office inside of that building. Yeah. So investors will receive a return of their investment as a whole off of that building.
Gotcha. Here's the thing. It's 1.5, right? You're going to put $500,000 into it. So $2 million. You have $2 million.
Yeah. I like having $2 million though.
I'm just saying. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. But I'm trying to wrap my head around, if you have $2 million, and it's not your last $2 million, why don't you just put your own money into it?
Right. So let me say this, right? There's two ways to look at this. Okay. So whenever you have, $2 million in a bank, in real estate, it's not $2 million. Okay. It's going to be an X on that, right? So let's just say, what is, I don't know, $10 million. What is 20% of $10 million?
200,000. $2 million.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's $10 million I have.
So $2 million is $10 million.
In real estate.
Right. Gotcha.
So if I just take that whole $2 million and put it there, right, it's sitting there. That's it. Right. I don't have $10 million right now. I would have to go leverage the building and do all of that. But I can buy up to $10 million in real estate with the $2 million that I have in the bank. Do that make sense?
Yes.
So why would I want to just take a full $2 million and park it in one place when I can break it up literally into different parts and take, let's just say $500,000 and put into the building that I'm buying. And then I take another $500,000 and put it into another billion that's, probably valued at $5 million. I'm going to double my money by breaking my money up and using other people money to come along with my money than I would just having my $2 million in one building. I have more buying power now when I break up that $2 million than I would taking that full $2 million and putting it into one property.
Okay. So $2 million, 20% of that is $400,000. Why not just take $400,000 and put it into the building, finance the rest, and then you got it. You gonna manage it. You're doing all of the work. Why not just take $400,000 and just put it in there?
So I'm not doing all of the work. I'm setting up all the people to do the work. Okay. That makes sense? So that's number one. The second thing is this, right? If I can take OPM and pay a percentage to investors, I'm not only paying for them to receive a return on their investment, I'm paying for future investments. Because if I never make an investor no money, I would never have a pool of investors to go and acquire more real estate with. So when I'm looking at the investment side of it, yeah, I can put $400,000 down, go to a bank, and the bank can give me this money at, let's just say 8%. Or I can go here, do a preferred rate of return to my investors, give them 8% annually, right? Same thing I probably would give to the bank. But on top of that, now they trust that I'm paying them a preferred rate of return, that when I go to my next real estate development, they're going to be right there along with me. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have to go and search for money. Money is expensive depending on where you get it from. Right now, we're in an insurance crisis in Louisiana. It is very expensive to go to the bank right now. Very. The moment you take out money from the bank, you are conditioned to their terms that are regulated by the federal government. And because you're regulated, you have to have certain things that's forced upon you, like, let's just say, flood insurance. Okay. Well, we had one project where, the bank was ready to give us the check, $2 million like that. Right. But we had to get flood insurance. Well, flood insurance would have made our investment be cash flow negative. That means we would have been paying to keep this asset.
It would have been negative.
No, it was.
Really?
Yes, it would have been negative. We would have been paying a few $1,000s a month. So keep in mind, Dave, right? We only make thank you, Jesus. Yeah, right. Right. But we only make $500,000 a year. $225,000 of that was going to have to go towards insurance only. That don't include the debt from the bank that we're taking on, which was another $180,000. It don't include our 5 employees that we have. It don't include the maintenance reserve that we have. Like, you get what I'm saying? It would have been negative a lot. I think by 33% we calculated.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it would have been a haircut.
Okay.
So you have to know when is the right time to use certain money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, that $400,000 may be cute right there, but what is it going to cost me? I am so grateful that we are not over leveraged and that we understood the importance of leveraging OPM the right way, that because we have this insurance crisis, we're not feeling it at all. We able to self-insure our properties. That's the power of being able to have your own bank and owning it yourself. You make the rules.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I really think this is a good season, and you're starting to see it of like mergers, not mergers, but mergers and just collaborations.
Yeah.
Like if you think of, look at the season that we're in of what we never saw Adidas and Gucci do a design together, or what is it? Versace and
I don't know who they're collab.
Versace and something.
Fendi.
Yeah. You never did. I think that's one, it's a sign that something's coming where people need to collaborate together, right? But I want to kind of talk about any issues that either one of you ever had in terms of collaboration, because those are things that need to be discussed.
Yeah.
Like what are the things that you discuss up front? You've done collaborations, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some holes that you've had?
Yeah, so holes is, I got several.
We talk about us.
Huh?
Our situation.
Our situation?
No paperwork. We cool. We
still don't got no paperwork.
Oh, bro, we had to just chalk it and say, okay, we're gonna start at zero.
Yeah.
We don't know who owes who. Like, very ghetto.
Y'all, all that money, you're starting at zero?
Yeah, all that money. I still think he owed me more money though.
Nah, I mean,
I'm not starting at zero.
Yeah.
We might start at 20.
That's what I told him. I was like,
I'm
just
cool
give me
with
20 grand.
Just give me 20 grand. We call it even.
I was like, yeah, just give me the 20,000.
Give me 20 grand, we'd be good. So more of a story, I think, couple things. One, I believe you do need to get, like a lot of things, we just be running. I do think you need to get a LLC and an operating agreement with whatever partner. I believe you need to sit down before this starts and clearly map out what is the plan, like, and also map out what happens if this goes south. If this thing go totally wrong, will we remain friends? For me personally, in some businesses, for me, the money ain't worth the friendship. So I'd rather have a friendship with him versus we don't got to make any money no more if this is going to ruin our friendship.
Right.
That I think is more important for me than money. So I think getting very clear on that would be one hole. Second hole would really be, and this is a big one for me, is just really understanding the scope of work. That is like because a lot of partnerships for me, I do more work than the other people who I partner with.
Are you saying that you do more work than Shan's does?
Are you saying that if y'all got together that you would do more work than Donnie if y'all came together?
We haven't did it yet, so I can't say that. But I'm saying in general, I'll do more work than the other party sometimes.
But for clarity, do you do more work in your partnerships with David than David does?
Well, David got a very specific thing that he does, but overall, I do more work than him 100%.
I don't know.
Do you feel like David,
I do want more work 1,000%.
Do you feel like David needs to bring more work to the table?
I believe David could bring more work. We just got to really identify what that is so he could do it.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Here's the
lessen the percentage.
Let me tell you the difference.
He don't want to hear less percentage though.
Why would I do that?
Have you pitched less percentage?
We have a very successful formula.
Have you pitched less percentage? Just curious.
Would you pitch less percentage?
I haven't. I would pitch less, depends on what it is, yeah.
Okay.
Like if we about to go acquire something, I know, I just need you for this. Yes, for sure.
So I will say that in our partnerships, Neo is the visionary in terms of like how the thing's going to flow. He is the quarterback, right? However, a lot of his work is this is what needs to happen. Am I right?
He's a delegator.
Am I lying?
Yeah, but that works. That's
No,
fine.
I feel
can't. You want me to write an email?
But he's saying, his thing is he'll come up with a structure. These are the things that need to happen. But in the things that he says needs to happen, I actually have to do them.
Because you don't have a team to help you
content,
do that part.
I have to keep. I mean, we still gotta edit it and send it out and do the insertions and like all that kind of stuff. So it's not. You for sure don't do more work.
I for sure do.
You're just saying that your work is more. I don't even know if you'd say it's more valuable. First off, what do you do, Neo? Just tell me what it is that you do in this partnership. Well, we have a bunch of partnerships.
Yeah, well, in general partnerships, I'm more so the marketer, come up with the marketing plan. I bring my team to the table.
Do the marketing or you come up with the marketing plan?
I do a mix of both.
In our situations?
Absolutely. He does the marketing too.
You do the marketing?
For a man? Who you think do the
Okay, tell me.
Meaning, I'm not talking about the marketing that you do.
Okay.
I'm not talking about your. I'm talking about the strategy with selling, the strategy with.
You see what I'm saying? It's always the lead of strategy. That's
but
not.
that is
tell
important.
Me what,
the strategy is.
I agree, it's important. I know it's important. That's why I am satisfied with what happens.
Someone else go launch a product versus let them launch a product versus me. I'm going to outbeat a lot of people,
right?
Because they're not thinking strategy. They like, yo, they did Beyonce effect. I saw that she today put up Renaissance coming. I don't even know when that is.
Yeah, she's a lot.
Like she got the
provocative post too. I was like,
she got the sauce.
Yeah.
Somebody like me, I gotta spend a month.
Beyonce makes me feel like I can do photo shoots like that.
Let me ask you, when is that show? Because I said I want to send my wife and get the best seats.
So they haven't dropped tickets yet, but they say the dates start in July.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You want to get some, you don't know when it is. You just.
And I've never seen my wife go to a concert a lot, but I'm sure you talk about Beyonce concert's experience.
It's an experience.
So I want to go get the best seats.
She got to get.
What's the best seats? Like 5 bands?
I don't know. When I went to her last concert, floor seats were only like $2,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know that the only floor seats that I really, really love, like front row, is Beyonce. Everybody else, I kind of want to be in a suite because I don't like people, but you need the people, you need the energy. You got to be on the floor. Beyonce!
Nah, the Usher joint was crazy though.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Usher was nuts.
I want to say this too.
Usher was nuts, but we were on the floor, but we were they had the floor kind of set back a little bit, and they had it so nicely spaced out that it wasn't like a crowd of people.
I wouldn't want to buy a sweat on me though.
That's what I'm saying. Like that dripping that sweat, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not the crowd that I'm looking for. So Lil Wayne is also going on tour starting in April. I don't want floor seats there. I want great seats. But Lil Wayne brings the sweaters on yours.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to
I want to say this before we do that because it's important. She said something critical that somebody's going to listen to and it's going to sound like a lot. She said Beyonce tickets are only $2,000. Anybody in here was like, only? Anybody, be honest, was like...
The regular seats are $2,000?
When I went to her last concert, I got floor seats for $2,000.
Oh, the floor seats, okay, got you.
But I say all this to say is one...
Not front row, for clarity.
Gotcha.
One is relative, but everybody listening, you need to start putting the word only in front of everything that you do because you got to adjust your mindset to go from a scarcity mindset to a pot like it's only 2,000. How much you make today? I only made 10,000 today. Like you got to change, and then how you look at money will begin to change. It was only 10 grand for that ticket. Yeah. So I just wanted to get that to the people.
So back to what you do in a partnership.
Yeah. So strategy, right? So no, because I'm trying to. I'm saying because I think your idea is that you want me to be. When I say send the text, I'm writing the text. I'm not sending the text out.
You don't write the text.
I do write a lot of the text. Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't like when they write them. It's not enough urgency and scarcity in the text, so people aren't buying when they need to buy. They giving them, you got to tell next year to buy. Got it. And they ain't buying. Right. So several times I'm writing that text. Several times I am writing an email out. But I'm sitting here trying to architect, how can we get as many people to buy? Like I'm literally trying to architect the events, the virtual events, the tickets when somebody buying to get a lot of people to buy at a short period of time.
Yes.
And that is more important, I think, than a lot of things.
I agree. It's very important. But we can't say you do more work. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I look at me doing more work. Also, if I'm bringing 10, 15 people to the table, that's also doing work to move this thing forward.
Yeah, you'd be reaching out to me to get the people, though.
I'm not talking about graphics and stuff.
No, like talent and stuff, right?
I'm not talking. That's one leg of it. Okay. How did all this infrastructure stuff get done? That's
for sure.
I ain't talking about.
I agree with you. I'm just not letting you diminish my work because I'll be working.
No, I'm not saying you don't work, but we got to get you to work more.
But she instigated it, bro.
Actually, I'm like, yo, Shannon, we got our podcast up and running. I need you to run all the dynamic ads in my podcast and everybody else's. Yep. He didn't want to do that.
I did do it.
You didn't do that. You didn't run no dynamics on my stuff. We had to go figure it out. But that's your skill set.
No.
That's your thing.
So let me tell you though. This is what happened. He said, yo, can you show me how to do it? I said, yes. So we sat here, got together, showed him how to do it. Every step of the way.
But he showed me also. I'm not really.
You asked me to show.
Yeah, just so I know.
He was like, yo, all right, man, can you do it? And I just showed you that, yeah. Then I was like, all right, just bring your team and then we could do it. But moral of the story. So this is a conversation. It's very important, right? That like in a partnership, first off, partnerships are hard.
I agree.
Most partnerships don't work out. I am blessed to have a few like with you and you that actually work out. Right. But that's a luxury. That's not like always, because outside of the things that we both do, there's also emotion and feeling and situation. If let's say, for instance, you and I go half on a building and we're splitting the sales team. Well, I guess it's all commission, right?
Yep.
It's all commission. Well, let's just say, for instance, we're splitting the sales. We split the sales team. Now, neither one of us have to pay, but one person is closing a whole lot more deals, or one person is using up the space more than I would be, even though it's not that I can't use it, but it's just you're using it way more than me.
So there's so many different ways to structure in that case. We could have a 50-50 partnership where the expense is our 50-50. So we could say, all right, me and Nia are going to go into this building. Me and you are going into a building 50-50. We are splitting the cost and the expenses of the real estate 50-50, utilities, mortgage, all that stuff, housekeeping, upkeep. But when it comes to team, right, I might use, let's say the sales team were on salary. I might use the sales team 80% of the time and you just use them on a project basis. Then we could say, then you have billable hours. So if you want to come into the sales team, we're not necessarily splitting their salaries 50-50, but when they work for you, you have billable hours. So how many hours do you utilize them a day? And then monthly, you reimburse me those billable hours. Everything isn't about 50-50, 30-40. Like you just have to be clear in the arrangement and go from there.
To you, it's not. So let's say for instance,
don't know.
Let's say electric bill is $1,000 a month, right? I'm in the building 2 days a week, but for some reason, Neo burning that joint up. He up there all the time. He's shooting content, videos, all that kind of stuff. Bill's $1,000 a month. How long do I pay $500 before I'm like, yo, I'm not even in there?
Then you need to get in there.
Okay, but you can see where there can be some sort of agreement. Like these are all the things you got to think of up front. So in terms of a partnership, give me some partnerships where you should have said something or you should have put something in place and it just didn't work out.
I think one of the things, I think this is important, man. You need, and I don't know if this is a clause, but just a transparent clause where this is something I've learned because I've done work with people and I just didn't say certain things because I don't want to offend them.
Give me an example. If you gotta say something to me, bro, just tell me.
No. I tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I don't care. So I'll use you for example. Shans, I'm working with you, and you told me you were going to post on social media. This is a general. You told me you were going to post on social media. You told me you were going to go live. You said all these things that you said you're going to do, and you're doing 20% of those things that you said. So now when this clause, before I even start, hey, listen, so one of the things I want to do is I want to go ahead and create a transparent clause. And what this is this is an open door where you be honest with me, I be honest with you. If I'm not fulfilling the obligation, you let me know. If I'm dropping the ball, you let me know. And you do the exact same thing. So right now you outline that you're going to post on social media, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. If you are not doing that, I'm going to let you know. And you can't feel any way about that.
You can't guarantee that though.
No, when I say you could feel a way about, but I'm not going to not say it, and then we just allow this to just linger on.
Yeah.
Whether it's in a
I don't know. You can
not,
contract that.
I don't know, but
just like verbally
communicate it so we're on the same page.
Where I am right now and what I know about myself, I only desire to pick partners like I pick my clients. If I, in the pre-consultation call, tell you that I'm very direct, if things aren't going the way that they need to go, then we, after such and such occurrences, like I tell my clients, if you come to the third call with me and you hadn't done what you're supposed to do, now it's time that we have a conversation about going separate ways. And I don't offer refunds. So I'm just letting you know that, right? And so my clients know, let me do the work because I've already paid Donnie and she's not providing a refund. So when I have to have the conversation, I'm like, that conversation that I told you we'd have to have, we need to have that. And they fully get it. There's no hard feelings, even though there is a hard conversation sometimes.
Yeah.
So maybe just kind of, and I'd like to think ideally I want my partnerships to work that way as well. Where it's like, look now, y'all know I'm direct. If y'all dropping the ball, we're going to have a conversation and we're still going to be good because I know I will only partner with people who are emotionally intelligent enough to know how to separate a hard conversation from a bad relationship.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't think people get me though like that. When I'm driving, like when I'm like pushing our team, it's like I'm a jerk or something.
But
like
I know that you're a jerk in that space, right? I mean, no. Oh.
Andrew, fix your face, bro. All right, chill out, Drew.
Yes, he is. Say it louder for the people over here. No, I mean, but we know this, Neo. So Neo is like split personality. He's so freaking nice to me. Me and Sonia were talking about you yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I said, Neo, we were talking about people who are like big personality. And I'm like, Neo is always on 10. And she's like, yeah, he's a 10. But with me, he's like a 3. This is what Sonia's saying. I'm like, you know what? Neo's a 3 with me too. I can't imagine Neo treating his team this way, but we bring different value perspective to, it's a partnership conversation. It's a colleague conversation. So it's different. There are moments, I'm not ever a jerk to my team, but like, for example, somebody dropped a ball this morning and I no longer talk to you about it because you've dropped this ball before, we've already discussed it. So I sent a message this morning and said, I don't need to send a message. And they responded, won't ever happen again. That could be perceived as me being a jerk. But it's not. It's me not being a jerk because I know the jerk that I could be, right? I don't want to talk to you about this, but my team understands now, like, why we got to talk about the same thing? We've already talked about this. So I'm going to send you like a code word before it gets ugly, right? There's never a reason in a professional setting that it needs to get ugly. Anyway, back to the point. I don't ever want to work with a staff or a client or a partner that I first don't genuinely like. When you genuinely like people, you handle things differently. I also don't ever want to work with a partner. Like if I observe that either of you didn't make integral moves, like we've had some behind the scenes conversations. I've heard struggles and partnerships and deals and I've listened to your heart speak on, man, this is happening, but this is what I really want to see happening. And oh no, I can't do that because then that would make me look. I know that you guys operate at a high level of integrity. So you're great with partnerships. If you talk grimy, like, not gonna say their name, but if you talk grimy.
He gonna have you say their name.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah. So, the situation that we had and you were like, man, I ain't never felt so uncomfortable in my life. You did a partnership with somebody. It was like a Zoom and you were like, yo, for real, I never felt more uncomfortable in my life.
You gotta tell me after. I'm trying to remember.
No, I've definitely had some situations.
You know who I'm talking about.
Well, I don't know. It's been a couple of times when you're like, I don't know if I could. It's like with the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
there's been a few. And I respect Neil for that too. He's
look
like,
at your text messages.
I'm not. Did you put it in a group chat? I'm not checking them.
Oh
yeah, 100%. But there was a couple situations that way.
Yeah, but
you're about to say something. I'm sorry.
That person I would never partner with.
Yeah.
Ever. You'd have to pay me a fee for what I bring to the table. Yeah. I don't necessarily trust you on the back end to do the right thing. Yeah, so I wouldn't partner with you.
Man, that's serious piece. And I think another thing, just with partnerships, I think this is a good thing. You almost got to date the person first. I actually want to be friends with the people I'm partnering with. It's not just a money thing. Sometimes you can just do it on the money, but it's a lot better when you actually friends. Yeah. Now, again, some of these you doing acquisitions, it may be a little different, but we're looking at acquiring a company now. We had a conversation and the guy was like, hey, let's just try this out first. But we did an hour Zoom call, just really understanding. I got to feel your energy and just feel where you're at, like your work ethic. It's just a whole bunch of things that preliminary I would like to see or do to even see if it makes sense.
That just gave me an idea for us.
But even some of the things I partner with people, I'll do it once and I may don't do it again. Mm-hmm. They may don't want to do it with me again. Like, yo, this guy's a driver. I'm cool on that. And sometimes for me, it's like, yep, that didn't really work out. I love project partnerships instead of company partnerships at first. Yeah. So you and I partnered on a bunch of project partnerships before we went all in, together on this. And that makes a difference because you know how I work. Yep. I know how you work. We know the value that you bring to the table. So that's actually like not a bad place to start if you're looking to partner with somebody before you're like, oh, let's merge our brands and let's blah, 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 and represent this thing. Just do a project first and see how that works. And then if that project works well, do another one and just make sure, because you'll meet somebody's representative. You'll meet their representative because they see an opportunity in you in some way. So they're going to be on their best behavior, but have a couple of tough times. Have tickets not selling the way tickets should be selling. How invested are you still? Have the people not show up the way they, in money, and go through some things before, just like a relationship, like you said, dating and get to know. But obviously that's not possible in every situation. It's not. Yeah. That's why you got to really pick them well, I think. When did you open your second restaurant? What year was that?
2020.
2020. So about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How many employees did you have at your first restaurant?
My first restaurant, I had probably like 22.
So you go from 22 employees to 350 in 2 years. 350.
Let me tell you something very interesting. So when I go around my employees, I don't know a lot of them now. And at first I used to feel bad about it because I used to know everybody. Right. But now I'm like, hi, I'm Pinky. What's your name? And I had to also shake that because I used to feel bad. Like, damn, like, I don't even know them. Like, but I realized I'm building an empire. You won't know everybody's name, but as long as you can make an impact on the people who work for you and with you, then you're doing the right thing. But I definitely don't know people that's working for me.
So tell me about this layered leadership. Like who's high, like, okay, so like from your position of, okay, I interview the person, they come on, I like them. Mm-hmm. What was that transition? Because I think there are a lot of people that are watching it. Maybe they have their one restaurant, but now it's going to be time to go to the next level. What was that leadership transition like?
So it's interesting. So I just promoted my CRO. His name is Jason Crane.
I don't even know what CRO is.
Chief Revenue Officer.
Okay. Chief Revenue Officer.
Yes. So I just promoted him to president. And I promoted him to president because I done turned into a D-list celebrity. Okay. So I started doing more interviews and growing the business from the outside. So I had to make a really hard decision. And it was the same decision that I made when I went from one location to 2 and 3. When I used to be in a restaurant flipping burgers and shaking fries and being customer service and HR and all that stuff. And I knew that my business couldn't grow if I was inside of the business. Mm-hmm. I had to step outside of the business. So after I stepped outside of the business, that's the location number 2, I was working day to day in the business. I just wasn't so much in the restaurants. Yeah. But then I got to a place where Slutty Vegan started getting super uber popular.
And they wanted to know the genius behind the brand. So guess what happens after that? Interviews.
Yeah.
On camera.
You're out of the restaurant.
Out of the restaurant. Like literally out of the day-to-day of the restaurant. So I had to play chess. And playing chess was getting the one person in my business that had the mental smarts and the intellectual energy to be able to continue to take my business to the next level internally so that I can grow the business from the outside. And that was Jason Crane, who was my CRO. And now he's my president. And I'm glad I made the decision.
Did you develop that in him or did he already come lit?
Well, he came lit. So he has a background. He owned part of Part Pig. He sold his company to his Amazon. He used to work at Google. He's a tech guy, right? So like super smart guy, but he understood business before he came to me. So when he came on board in 2020, I almost like was grooming him into position. All right, here's the business. He's never been in the restaurant industry. And it was an opportunity for him to learn and to grow. And he actually did the negotiations alongside my lawyer for my raise. So when it came time to make that transition to step outside of the day-to-day of the restaurant, I promoted him to president and say, here, Simba, this is the throne. Now you run my company. And although I have the final say on everything, he runs the day-to-day of the company from the inside and I run the company from the outside. So
he does hiring, marketing, like everything?
He doesn't do everything. So we have departments. So I have an operations department. I have a marketing team. I have a catering and booking team. I have the HR department.
But is he over all of those departments?
So he is the overarching element. Gotcha. Yes. So he connects directly with the department heads and he has his meetings with them and then he reports it up to me. Right. Gotcha. So we have our weeklies, we have our meetings. But the moral to the story is he runs the day-to-day of the business, gotcha. Right? So I'm still very familiar on what happens with my business, strategy, execution. I still go and look at properties to vet out for potential slutty vegans. I still go to the high-level meetings. We still have our high-level meetings. All of our company-wide engagements I'm still present for, but I speak on behalf of the business. Gotcha. Nobody talks about the business except for me because I created this company. And the dynamic works.
It's a high level of trust. Well, you have to trust him.
So trust is a very fickle thing, right? When we talk about trust in business, I am trusting that the money that I am giving him to run my company is sustainable enough for him to have a adequate level of living so that he is comfortable enough to be able to run my company in a way that he can use his expertise to do a good job. Yeah. Right? People will fail you in life, right? I don't put 100% of my trust in nobody. I don't care who it is, right? But what I do know is that I am trusting that what I am putting him in position to do, then he can get the job done. Now, if he proves that otherwise, then he messed it up on his own. Yeah. But everybody gets the opportunity to have a first chance. Gotcha. And so far, he's been doing a great job.
Good, good. What have you had to learn about leadership, though?
What I had to learn a lot about leadership, and I'm still learning about leadership. I'm very impulsive, right? So how I've grown this company is if I want something, I want it done right now.
Go get it.
Right? Like it needs to happen right now. But I realize as I grow the company and I have so many people in place, there's something called a chain of command. So I used to like skip past everybody. Like if I paid you to be everybody's boss, now I used to skip past everybody and tell that person directly. But what I was doing was I was undermining the person who was in charge. So I no longer do that anymore. I follow the chain of command, even as the CEO and the creator of this company. Even though I know I could pick up the phone and say, it's my way or the highway. I no longer do that because I am now respecting boundaries of the people that I put in place to be able to run my company because they also need to feel empowered to make certain decisions to lead their team. And if I keep coming and throwing monkey wrenches in their operation, it's just everything is always chaotic because people are always going to listen to the CEO before anybody else, right? So I now follow the chain of command, something that I took a long time to learn how to do. And I'm finally at a place where I've gotten a lot better with that. So I'm proud of me.
Dang, I feel triggered. I do that all the time. I'm like, let me tell you, just do it the way I do.
You got to stop doing that. And I'm also talking to myself too, because there are moments where I just want to pick up the phone and shut down, right? But I also realize that is not a healthy environment to grow and scale a business. And that's a hard conversation that I had to have with myself. And in order to grow this company in a way that I want to grow it, I also have to learn how to respect the boundaries of the people who are in this business with me that's helping me to grow this empire.
Yes. So tell me how that came about.
So a friend of mine's named Camille, she's actually an artist in the Atlanta area, rapper. She was on Twitter one day. And Los, if you know, I call him Los, but if you know Carlos from 85 South Shore, he's constantly tweeting out black businesses, asking somebody, send me this, send me that. So she was on Twitter one day and she saw a tweet and Carlos tweeted, anybody got a black owned candle company, and she knew me as her friend who made the candles, so she sent me a text like, hey, Carlos just tweeted this, I'm gonna DM him and tell him about you, and you DM him too. And I'm like, all right, bet. So I sent him a DM like, hey, what's up, Carlos? My name is Jeremy. I make candles. Can I send you some? What's your address? And then he like, yeah, that's a bet. Send me something. I sent him to him, and then so the relationship started there. He got him, and I think he didn't think I was gonna send him as soon as possible. But I sent him like the same day, so he got him. And then one thing about Carlos is he loves candles. And then he loves, like if you go to his house, he has 100, and not even just my candles, but hundreds of candles just around. So I'm like, all right, he like actually like candles. He's a comedian. And I think with people like that who are famous or have influence, sometimes you got to present them with an opportunity. So I sent him candles. He loved them. And I was teaching one day and I was like, damn, it'd be crazy if me and Carlos partnered up for his own candle. And he's not thinking about it because he has so much going on. But I hit him up like, hey, Carlos, you know, in a comedian industry or your lane, nobody really has a candle product. And it's not a money grab because you actually love candles. Yeah. So I said it'd be dope if we collabed or partner up on a candle. And he was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Just put it together. And I remember I was teaching one day and his assistant called me, or he called me, matter of fact, and like, yeah, man, what's up with the candles? What's the prices like and all that? And I think one thing on my end is he didn't have to do a lot of work. I had the plan ready. I said, we can name it this. I can send you some scents. You can say yay or nay if you like it. We can do the sticker like this. And I had the concept or the idea, and he ran with it. So,
real quick, was the name of your company Good Day Scents before you met them?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about how I got that name as well.
But when you were talking to Carlos, and that's Carlos Miller from 85 South, y'all. But you were talking to him saying, yo, I can make your brand of candles for you. Okay, I got you.
So we partnered up, and what we did was he had a different jar, he had a different sticker, a different scent. I think he had an icon of him on it, and a couple other icons, and we did his candle. And then he just gave me the opportunity, which I think was there, because a lot of people missed the opportunity. He gave me the opportunity saying, yeah, let's do it. And then I came through and delivered. And then so we dropped his candle, and we sold hundreds of them online, and all he had to do was post them, and I made it easy for him. I said, look, I'll take care of the shipping and fulfillment. I just need you to post on social. And the candles went crazy. And he has a lot of other products. This is just one that was added to his list of products. So I met him. He was a stand-up solid guy. We didn't even have a contract. It was just all for word of mouth, but he trusted me and could see through my integrity that, he's going to do good business. And he trusted me. And then
you made him and shipped them. You just had to post.
And all I did was send him his cut of what he made.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Good profit margin on candles?
For sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So when did y'all have a deeper conversation?
So after we did the collab, Chad called me, and it was not like, let's get into business. Like, hey, what's up? I'm Chad. I'm Carlos' business manager. I'm just introducing myself. You know, the typical calling you, feeling you. I'm like, all right, what's up, Chad? You know, all right, cool. It's good to meet you. But I will say with Chad and Carlos, everything has always been genuine. It hasn't been like a money grab or anything they're trying to take from me. I think they just saw something in me and said, yo, let's invest in this young black man. And Chad also loves candles. So I met Chad, and then that was in 2019 when we did Carlos collab. And then we officially made it official November 2020. And Carlos Miller and Chad Oubre became my business partner in Good Day Scents.
Good. Okay. I got to get into the business side a little bit, okay? So what did they have a proposal for you, or did they ask you to give them a proposal?
They asked me to give them a proposal. Honestly, Chad and Los have so much going on. This is just one other thing amongst the things they have going on. Not meaning that it's a priority, but they like, yo, look, we investing in you. We see the money long term. We're not really in your pocket now. What do you want to do? What's comfortable for you? And a lot of times in business, when you meet partners, they don't do that. They be like, look, I got this amount of money for you. I need this %, take it, yay or nay. But when I met them, it was like the perfect situation. Yeah. And Chad was like, what do you want to be comfortable? Yeah, and what you need. And a lot of things I think that stood out to me was that when we were going into business, it was never a lot on what they wanted from me. It was like, yo, what do you want from us? What do you need us to do? What do you need to build and grow this? How can you live off of this full time? So that really stood out to me. And I never met anybody who I didn't know before that really believed in me and was like, yo, what do you need? Like, we want you. I remember the first time I came to Atlanta, I flew down and met with Chad. We just drove around town for like a day, and he was doing a lot of business things. And he was like, bro, I want you to have this amount of money in your bank account. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And that kind of stood out because most times people just thinking about their self on their end if they're an investor or a partner. So I'm like, damn, you know what? And it's just been genuine mutual love since I met Carlos and Chad.
Well, what was your proposal to them?
My proposal to them was a certain percentage for a certain amount of money.
Of course, Jeremy, I'm asking. Of course. I like what percentage of your company were you willing to part with?
About 20%.
So
20 to 30%.
So you said, yo, okay, it's between 20 and 30.
Yeah.
Okay. How much cash?
They gave me about $20,000.
Okay.
But for candles, it's good. And I never took money from anybody before. Everything I've been doing with candles has been from my teacher's salary, just saving.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I ain't mad at that. Especially because it's not a, they got a big influence.
Yeah,
so even if it's like 20 grand, they're going to turn it into much more, of course, then your percentage is bigger. So that was your proposal. You said, okay, if I get 20 grand, it'd be good. If I get, I'm comfortable giving away this particular percentage, and then we rock.
Yep.
You make the candles and fulfill them, correct?
Yeah.
And they promote, put the marketing behind it. Is this their font? Did they design
that's all me. Everything.
It looked like the 85 South font though.
Yeah, no, I had that before I met him. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it's been the same font since I originally started as a side hustle in 2018. But everything from the font, the names, the layout, the look is all me. So business wise, everything is from Jeremy.
Let me say this too. I think that ain't what you're also saying is I think you need an integrator.
Yeah, for sure.
The issue is sometimes we be the integrators too. It's like, so you need to be able to say it to somebody and they just go, I got what you want, Neo. I got it. Everybody got to find. If you could find that right integrator.
Hey, how you find one of them though?
Man, listen.
Trial and error. A little bit of equity sometimes.
Yeah.
Just
higher salaries.
Higher salary. Like this, that's a $250,000 a year type of role.
Calm
like,
down, Neo, because we got people watching this.
Okay.
Just
my fault.
chill out.
All right, that's a
Chill on that, Neo. Chill.
100K a year plus types salary. But the cool thing about the integrator is they make their money up from doing, because just say y'all had, I know he always got an idea.
Yeah.
You said one of them was done.
Yeah.
Y'all had 20 of them.
Oh, we've had.
What if the integrator already knocked down 10 of them?
So you know what I'm doing? You know what's happening next week?
What's that?
I have been saying, David, the only thing that's holding us back is that we are both CEOs. We're both visionaries. I'm a visionary and an integrator, but I don't have the capacity to necessarily integrate in the David and Donnie group. I have been saying for 2 months now, I'm gonna just hire somebody to be that person. It's happening next week.
It's happening. Y'all
it's
hear
happening
that?
next week.
It's happening.
The interview process is happening next week,
Okay.
but I already have somebody in mind.
Yeah, because we got a company, bro, and they got money.
We got bread.
Yeah, it's 6 figures in the account. It just sits there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like we do stuff together, and the money comes in, and we just like obviously we working on like some, some investment stuff. But Donnie had the idea. She was like, "Yo, let's hire somebody to run this company."
Yeah,
that's it right there.
I'm about to do it, and the person who I'm going to put in place for it, I feel away because I really wanted her to run my company. Like I've just been waiting for the right time. Oh, for sure. I just haven't. I didn't want her to. Huh?
Do I know them?
No.
Integrators, hit us up.
Yeah, I didn't want to. She's going to be my integrator in training. I didn't want to share her with the David and Donnie group. I wanted her to be all in on my group. And I'm gonna still figure that out. It's temporary, but we're gonna put it in place.
Can we define an integrator? Because I have the book Traction, but I haven't read it. But can we define what an integrator is?
The integrator would have read the book.
Wow.
Integrator would have read the book.
I can't give you the go down. I can't get a perfect definition.
Sure.
I just know it's a doer that take your ideas and go put them into action and talk to all the people who need to make it work.
Yeah. So even if we want to get a little bit more specific, when you are, so in your company, there's always going to be two roles, two very important roles. One is your CEO, and then the other is your COO. Most times you are one or the other, right? Most times you're one or the other. There are very, very, very few people who can be both. Your CEO typically, or your founder, because you can later go on as your company grows. We're just talking about like right now for most of us, right? The CEO founder is typically the person who has the vision. They can tell you the direction. They can tell you where we're going in 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, 30 years, right? And all they want to do is operate in their genius. They want to create. They want to develop. They want to say, hey, I've got an idea for a course, but then pass it off to the COO or the integrator, which is your chief operations officer. They're the person who handles the operations. So I see you, CEO. I hear your idea. The integrator can already think through the what ifs, the how to's, the to-dos, and they assign those things. So your integrator is going to be the person that you work with typically as a CEO founder most closely, because they are going to be the person that can say, okay, in order to pull that challenge off, we need the marketing team, we need the sales team, we need the copy team, and they are going to they're going to get with the marketing manager if you have these positions in place. They're going to get with your marketing manager. They're going to get with your sales team manager. They're going to get with your email team manager, however you have it figured out. And they're going to say, hey, this is what David needs. David needs copy for this. We're going to market this. We're going to market this. Your integrator is also the liaison. They're that buffer between the rest of the team and you. So any questions about a project, any of the details and all that, they've figured that out. They've masterminded that idea, and then they've delegated to the people who are assisting them. If those people who are assisting them need any type of clarity and feedback, they come to the integrator, not to the CEO founder, right? So that you stay free to just live and relish in your gift, and you're constantly creating new ideas. That's all you should be doing as in a personal brand situation where you're a CEO. Now, other kind of companies work a little differently. Sometimes your CEO is hired help who's meant to do something different, but we're talking about us as personal brands in this space where we're CEOs, founders, and you just want to be free to act in your gift. You want to move around, Neo. You're out as a CEO, David. Neo, we're out creating new relationships. We're shaking the hands and blah, blah, blah. But your integrator knows how to follow up on that handshake deal. Your integrator will be watching this episode and saying, hey, David, Donnie, I saw that you guys said that you're about to create a group thing with Neo. I've already kind of strategized this. Let's put the team in place. Here's when we're doing the first call. Check everybody's schedule.
Let's say, for instance, Kenny was like, yo, he'll sell me a portion of his company. Now, the only thing I really know is I could probably wrap some merch around credit or start a podcast for that's all I can really do. I would have to partner with Donnie. I would have to bring in Donnie because she's more business.
Strategy.
She gonna go find that bread.
I can go get money, but in terms of organization,
she gonna go do some other stuff to get the money.
She's gonna set the business up to where it's a business. Yeah, and I don't understand that part just yet.
I think you do.
I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it. But here's the thing. So I've been saying since like 2019 that my goal was I wanted equitable partnerships in other businesses. And I kept thinking that I needed to do more. Like, oh, I can't wait to get to the point where I can have equity in these companies. But, I'm thinking that I have to create a full-fledged agency and it's a done for you and you got to do all these things. And you don't. Like people literally, this is like the same thing as having people sit on your board and, they're getting all this money to do. You don't have to physically do anything if you are great at facilitating information and ideas and strategy. That is my zone of genius, right? I am going to drop the ball if you need me to execute anything for you. But if you need me to tell you what to do and keep you accountable and making sure you get it done, we're going up.
Neo is excellent at the execution, though.
Neo,
I got a team too. It helps. Yeah, but I do be doing a lot of execution. Yes.
Yeah, he's an executor for sure. Yo, why don't we have a company together?
So here's the thing. First of all, don't do me because you already know what I told you we're doing for Black Friday.
What?
I told you, me, you, and Kenny are putting together a mastermind. But I just thought about it, Neo. Really? So why don't we create a full-fledged business development agency? You don't remember me telling you that?
I do remember.
Okay. Yep. Why don't we create a full-fledged business development agency that is everything from iteration, from product development to fulfillment to systems to marketing? And we just shut it all down.
Hold on. But what are we going to do after this episode airs and mad people are hitting us up? And
we're going
please don't put it in my DM because it will get lost in the sauce. This could be a play though. Because there's a lot of talented people out there.
There's a lot of talented people that just need help.
Yeah. But we have to make a threshold though. It got to be the reason why Hermosi went with 10 million above because you already coming with something together.
So then let's do 1 million 1 million and above. I think 1 million.
Even maybe 500, even 500,000.
200. Listen,
because a million is hard. Your first million to get. The first million is hard difficult.
So right now, if I work with someone one-on-one, they have to at least be doing 250, right? Yeah. And the reason for that is because at this level of how I develop, you not only have to have enough disposable income to pay for my services, there has to be something left after that for you to actually implement, right? Grow the business, invest in systems, have a marketing budget. 250 is a good number. When we look at what that looks like, anywhere from 250 to 5 million, 3 million, 10 million.
Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to grab a way so they could go to a website. And
I was about to say, we're going to have a site at the end of this. So
this could be huge though. Because there's so many.
You got to come with us with your stuff right though. Like it got to be concise. Like
so, we gotta. The thing is, you got
to apply. Like we got.
Oh, for sure. Everybody
got to apply for acquisition.
What would be some questions that you would ask for a beginning entrepreneur that's going to be soon in a position to even be looked at as some entrepreneurs because I think this is actually genius on their end to connect with me, Donnie, Neo. Like I think about Kenny enough. But I think that's genius because there's a lot of things that you don't know that you don't know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of resources that are probably going to take you the next 10 years. It took me 10 years to get these resources. Yeah. So what are some questions that you would ask, especially based on all the people that came into your mastermind? You know what people are struggling with. What are some people that you would consider you take a look at?
Who like one thing is, I like unique things. I talked to you the other day about somebody and I was like, man, but it's kind of conflicting interest with somebody else you're working with. I'm like, man, he got work ethic, got something that not a lot of people not talking about. We should get behind it. So I'm always looking for, and this wouldn't be a question I ask, but what is the unique selling proposition? Like, what are you offering? Like, whether it's a physical product, whether it's a digital, like, what is it? Like, what are you offering? That's the first thing. Second thing, how much money did you make last year? I think that's important for us to understand. Who's currently on your team? And what are you doing marketing-wise? Are you running Facebook? Because I need to quickly see what levers can we pull so we could just get more cash flow quicker. Do you got continuity in this business? Like certain things that we could pull quick so we could I like to go see how we can instantly get somebody more money. Like when we work with somebody, if you got a low ticket offer and we immediately take you to high ticket, I'm instantly getting more money in your business. True. And then we help you do the marketing. I know it's over with. So those are a few questions I want to know. How much money you made last year? Who's on your team? How much money you made last year? Who's on your team? What channels are you using to market currently? Those are a few questions where I could see.
So not somebody that just has a really good idea.
I need more than just an idea. Now we talking about Shark Tank. Because I was going to say we could still do a session where we just do a Shark Tank style and we could just hear some stuff, but they got to be willing to implement. Shark Tank and them not doing anything. Their team does a little bit, but you got to go work.
Gotcha.
We need, and what is your level of work ethic? That's the other key. Like, because I asked somebody, was like, man, Neil, I want to jump in your mastermind, but I just don't execute. I said, well, it's probably, you won't get the results if you don't execute.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want you to invest your money.
Yeah. Let's give some value to our listener on what does it take to even get the attention of someone who can actually help you? Like, what does it take to get the attention of someone who can actually help you? Because I get this all the time. Yo, I got this idea. Shouts out to my man, I forgot his name, but he came to our morning meetup event, and like he gave me a whole presentation on the idea. And I think one is he was talking to the wrong person, because that particular idea, I don't got nothing to do. Like, it's not interesting to me. Two, I don't understand it. It was like bots about trading and all that kind of stuff. You're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's running through all of this time. He's like, yo, I'll give you X amount of dollars for a few minutes of your time. I'm like, all right, I'll just give you the time. You got me the money. You already a morning meetup. It's all good. So he's running, like, I'm talking about flip chart. He pulls out a flip chart and he's walking through it. And the only thing I could think of was, man, I don't care.
Wow. He
has a good idea.
But when you are going into business with people, please understand the value that you bring in this partnership, right? Because, and this is a blanket statement, never give equity to anybody that could be work for hire.
Never give equity to anybody who could be work for hire.
Yeah. So here's what I mean by that. Is if I could hire, right? If I could hire a team to do videography for me, then why give my videographer equity in this podcast if that's the only thing they're going to do?
Well, here's why.
Tell me.
Here will be my perspective.
Yeah.
When someone owns something, they take care of it like it's their own.
Yeah.
And that might be the missing piece.
Yeah.
Right? You give somebody a paycheck, they're going to do a job.
Yeah.
Right? But if someone owns it, there's just another level of like going hard to take care of it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that through just an employee who's not super vested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a great
So this
point.
is why I always like I think let me just make sure I'm not lying. Everyone that has worked with me for any extended period of time, I've created or proposed some opportunity for them to partner with me on something.
And did you give them the equity first, or did they prove themselves?
Well, you got to prove yourself for sure.
So yeah.
And like, might not take. I've had multiple conversations with Reese. Like, we didn't like create something yet, but it's on the table. Yo, let's create this.
Yeah.
Like, if you come up with an idea, let's do that, because I know when you own something, you'll go hard.
Yeah.
And if you're going hard at it, and I'm going hard at it, it's not 1 + 1 = 2 anymore. Yeah. It's like 1 + 1 = 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. So backtracking what I said, just to clarify what I said or what I meant was, if you and Reese have the idea, right, for this thing, and you can hire him to do it, why would you come in 50-50 partners off rip for something that you can hire?
I see. Well, if it's both your idea, then it makes sense. But if it's your idea, you have the idea, and you're saying, yo, we about to do this podcast, we're going to do this and this and this. How much do you want? That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then maybe throughout time, you say, yo, this person's going hard.
Yeah.
Let's create a scenario.
And so that's what happened, right? So meaning, and this was the lesson that I want people to understand is, I had the idea, right? And I needed people to pull in to help me execute the idea, right? Yeah. But ultimately, the bulk of it's my idea. You know, I'm the talent. I'm the connector. Yeah. Right? Like, how do we even get on the network? Like, was it nobody had that was me. Like, right. You know what I'm trying to say? So I have the idea. I have the connections to blow the idea to the next level.
And you're the talent.
I'm the talent.
And he's already lit.
And I already, right, had
been lit for a long time.
So I already had a platform. I allowed, I got into a partnership in where I forgot who I was. Right? And so now I'm equally distribute equity where I have the most to lose. I'm putting in the most, and simply though, right? And there's no disrespect, but the truth is, those two positions, what they added to the table, I hire for it now.